35 points from Obi Toppin against the Washington Wizards tonight. Or last night, should I say. 35 points, ladies and gentlemen. Really good game from Obi Toppin. He did it all. He was knocking it down from three. He was able to get the ball on the fast break and convert. He did a lot. And the fans were chanting Obi, Obi. From the beginning of the game, Obi Toppin in Washington, D.C. I was looking around, ladies and gentlemen, and there were Washington, D.C. or Washington Wizards fans upset, mad, like, yo, why is everybody chanting for Obi? You know, Obi did play some high school basketball or some postgraduate basketball in Maryland. So, you know, it does make sense that he would have a lot of fans. Obviously, there's a lot of Knicks fans in Maryland and in D.C., but it makes sense that Obi would have a lot of fans as well. Big shout out to Obi Toppin, ladies and gentlemen. I want to listen to Obi Toppin in his post-game press conference because he is the star of the show. All right, so we're going to listen to Obi, see what he had to say. And it's a good brother, man. It's a good dude. I was sitting right next to the Knicks locker room entrance and exit. And on his way out, Obi, you know, stood and took 15 to 20 minutes conversing with fans, giving autographs, all that kind of stuff. Really good dude, man. Big shout out to Obi Toppin. But hey, let's check out his post-game interview, folks. We'll take some phone calls, do those kind of things. I know it's midnight, so I appreciate you for being here with me. But anyway, it's Obi Toppin.
Fans spread out.
Yeah.
Did you hear the chants here today as you're going through this?
Yeah. We have great fans. Probably the best fans in the world. But like to have them travel and chant not only my name but chant other players' names on our team as well and cheer for us. It's a great feeling.
How tough was it to see RJ go down?
I mean, it's always tough to see a player go down. But RJ, he's been doing great, and like for him to get hurt on something little like that, it definitely sucks. But he's gonna bounce back and be better. So.
Have you talked to him? How's his spirit?
He's good. He's feeling good. So he's gonna be with the trainers and they're gonna help him. So.
Obi, what were your expectations for yourself when? Julius seems like he's not going to be here for sure. Like, what were your expectations for yourself when you entered the starting lineup for the rest of the year, and did you expect this?
I mean, my expectations is the same whether I'm starting or I'm not starting. Like I'm going into the game. I know what I have to do when I'm in the game, and we have great players and great coaches that's gonna put us in great positions to do well. So. Like, I give all the credit to my teammates. Without those guys on the floor, I wouldn't be doing anything I'm doing. So,
what's the difference with the three-point shot right now that's falling a lot?
I just feel like it's mainly confidence right now. I feel like that's the biggest thing. But like that's one thing like I'm really working on when I'm in the gym. Like I'm working on a lot of other things, but three-pointers, it opens up a lot more for me. If I'm able to hit the three, I have to learn how to pump fake drive people or do different things off of that. So if I can't shoot a three, they're not going to close out, and it's easy defense for them. So I'm working on every aspect of my game to improve. So.
Well, you mentioned your confidence. Last year, we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You would make a mistake and look to the bench and know you're coming right out.
I still be looking at the bench. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have some freedom though that if I make a mistake, I'm gonna play 30 minutes here?
I mean, kinda, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to make a mistake. So, but I definitely feel I definitely feel a little bit more relaxed now. Knowing that like I'm not coming out if I make a mistake. So like having that opportunity is helping me a lot. So
Obi, you talked about the three-point shot. You also
Yeah.
talked about Julius. I really feel like the two of you on the court is like an NBA 2K cheat code.
Yes, sir.
The way that you guys can spread the floor. Have you envisioned or thought about just how you two would look in a full-time alongside each other throughout the course of the season, later this season or maybe next season?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Jules actually talked about it. We definitely feel in today's game that's a big thing, just because a lot of teams are playing small. A lot of teams want to play fast, shoot threes, run the floor, and just get out in transition. And I feel like when me and Jules is on the court, we definitely playing a lot more faster. Either me or Jules can be in the paint, or we can screen, roll. Like, it's so many different things that we can do when we're both on the court. But we definitely talked about it, and hopefully, if we're both back here next year, we can see that. So.
I see this decade's Mason and Oakley. What say you?
Say it again.
I see this decade's Mason and Oakley. What say you?
That's crazy. That's you saying I play?
The two of y'all.
Yeah.
Together.
I feel like we can definitely do some damage in the league if me and him's on the court together. So, yes, sir. That's a great comparison, though.
Tibbs was comparing you in terms of your energy and your personality, the way you kind of approach the game and approach practices to Taj. He said you remind him of a young Taj.
I mean, me and Taj kind of come from the same place. He's from Fort Greene. I'm from Bushwick, but like we don't take this opportunity for granted at all. Not a lot of people are in the positions we're in, so to have the opportunity to be here, period, is amazing. And that's why I play with a lot of joy, like, just because I know this could have happened for anybody. It didn't have to happen for me. So I'll just go out there. I love this sport, and I go out there and have fun every single day and play with a lot of energy. So.
But you were saying that you feel more defensive coverages coming your way, especially
Right.
the way they're defending you on the three now that you're hitting that shot more.
Yeah.
How are you able to break it down, like the more you see it, to put yourself in a position to be able to hit those shots? I noticed, for example, like you had the iPad out during timeouts and
Right.
you're going through stuff.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, I definitely watch a lot of film with Scott King, one of the guys on our staff, and he's pointing a lot of things out to me, things like that. But at the same time, coach tells us when we're in the game, our first look is shot. Like, when we catch it, if we're open, shoot it. So like, I feel like having that in the back of my head now, like, every time, if I think I can get it off, I'm gonna shoot it. But at the same time, I'm reading what the defender's doing. If he's closing out at me strong, like, I'm gonna have to drive past him, make plays. But I feel like that's one thing I have to work on also, like driving to the basket, being able to kick it out to the three, and doing things like that. So.
Was there a point that you didn't think shoot immediately if you were open?
Yeah, I definitely feel like before I was thinking don't mess up.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now, like I'm thinking shoot first, and then go backside, dribble handoff with guys, and just I'm just playing with a different type of confidence now. So.
Oh, did Raul Neto apologize to you?
Nah, he didn't. That hurt though. Hurt bad.
All right, Tibbs was
Confidence, confidence, confidence. It means everything. Had a conversation with Walt Clyde Frazier a while ago. We were talking about Frank Ntilikina. And the question, me and Tony Crow, the question that we asked is, Frank Ntilikina, how come Frank Ntilikina, what's up with Frank? And he just said confidence. He lacks confidence. Clyde went to have a conversation with my daughter. We were at Clyde's Wine and Dine, right? He talks to everybody, so it's not just me. Ain't nothing special. He talks to everybody. And he told her confidence. And you hear what Obi's talking about, confidence. He's gaining that confidence, ladies and gentlemen. And you're seeing what he can do when he has the confidence. And I know, including myself, I've had a lot of criticism about Obi and his footwork and, lack of awareness on defense and things like that. But when he does what he did tonight, you can't complain about anything at all. You love the way he played basketball tonight. Obi Toppin, 14 for 22 from the field. He shot 63.6%. He was 6 for 9 from the three-point line. Obviously, we know he's not going to do this every single night. But he doesn't have to do this every single night. Just has to be consistent. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals for Obi Toppin. But you can see the confidence growing by the minute on the floor. Now, he was asked some interesting questions in his post-game presser. One being, can he play with Julius Randle? Right? Nikki B from Harlem. Thank you for the super chat. It's one of the questions that Nikki B has. Can Obi play alongside RJ and Julius? Well, where are you putting Obi in that situation? Are him and Julius playing the 4 and the 5? Or are you trying to put Julius at a 3, RJ at a 2, and Obi at the 4, and then have somebody else at the 5? Right? I think it depends on where you put him. I think he can play, depending on where guys are. I think he can play with RJ and Julius because Obi has more of a passive personality. Right? So he's going to allow RJ and Julius to have the basketball in their hands. Plus, Obi is the kind of player that doesn't really need the basketball in his hands. Not that he's going to grab all these rebounds and get all these offensive putbacks and things like that, but he plays off of other people. He can post up in the corner and wait for threes to come out to him. If he continues to shoot high from the three-point line, oh, man, he can play with Julius all day long. Right? He can play with RJ all day long because both of those guys can get inside the paint and kick it out. He can knock down the 3 ball. You're going to need a point guard. It doesn't have to be a point guard. You're going to need someone who can facilitate for Obi and find Obi. If you looked at tonight's game, in the first quarter, when Obi was out there, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, those guys, they weren't really, I don't want to say they weren't looking for Obi, but they weren't finding Obi in his sweet spots. And as soon as Immanuel Quickley entered the game, I told people around me that were Knicks fans, Quickley's going to find Obi and immediately finds him up the floor. He throws it high and allows him to jump over people to catch the ball and put it back in. All right, so you do need someone who can find Obi in his sweet spots and help him, assist him in scoring the basketball. Immanuel Quickley does a great job at it. Is Immanuel Quickley going to be the starting point guard next season? I don't know, but guess what? He had 23 points and 10 assists tonight. Second time in 3 games that he's had double-digit assists. We'll talk about Immanuel Quickley. Some things that I really, I got to see, I got to see him close up. Right? So I just got to see some of the little things that maybe I don't catch on TV. You know what I mean? Because you can look and you can see the facial expressions, this, that, and the third. And I'm going to tell you, I liked it. But I want to continue talking about Obi. Because he's asked about him and Julius Randle playing together. He says that him and Julius Randle have had discussions about playing together. He also said, if we're both here, okay, which means both he and Julius Randle are aware that there may be a possibility. I mean, I guess everybody's always aware, but it seems like, the fact that he brought that up and it was unprompted, if we're both here, yes, we can play together. But it sounds like, it seems like, in the air, there's this idea floating out there that maybe one of those 2 guys could go. I think he understands that he's putting pressure on Randle. He's putting pressure on the front office with his play over the last however many games. especially tonight. You know, and if he continues to play this way going into training camp, you got to figure out a way to get him on the floor, right? You got to figure out a way to get him on the floor. That's either playing him and Randall together, him taking Randall's minutes, or Randall just not being here. Okay? One way or the other, you got to find some time to get him on the floor if he's going to continue to play this type of basketball and the team continues to excel with him playing this kind of basketball. All right? And he's got one more game to prove to everyone, and he probably already has proven it. You dig what I'm saying? But he's got one more game to prove to Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and all of those guys that he belongs out there on the floor. And I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to be in competition with Randall, but because they play the same position, by force of nature, they're in competition with one another. And, he's going to go out there and give it all he got. And he is. You know what I mean? So proud of Obi Toppin. I like what I'm seeing from Obi. I want to continue to see him just expand his game. You're seeing with the confidence that is coming and is growing, he's doing more. He's putting the ball on the floor a little bit more, right? He's taking a chance on a fadeaway jumper here, a pull-up jumper there. Now, when you don't have somebody better coming off the bench, you have a little bit more confidence in doing those things. But what else does this do? It means that Tom Thibodeau is trusting him more. I mean, he has to play him. We know that. But the more that Obi Toppin produces, the more trust Tom Thibodeau has in Obi. And that goes a very, very long way. When Tom Thibodeau trusts you, once you're in that circle of trust, it's very hard to get you out of the circle of trust. And Obi's working his way into that circle of trust big time. Super big time, ladies and gentlemen. Super big time. Immanuel Quickley. He's another guy working his way. Well, he's already been in Tom Thibodeau's circle of trust, folks. We know that. He's already been there. Tom Thibodeau wanted this guy from the beginning. So he's in Tom Thibodeau's circle of trust, but Immanuel Quickley, 23 points, 10 assists tonight. Played a good floor game, 9 for 18 from the field, 4 for 9 from the three-point line. Add 6 rebounds onto that assist, to that assist total, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers. Only 2 turnovers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to Immanuel Quickley, and then I'm going to break down just some things that I saw from IQ, who was playing in his hometown. Well, not really his hometown, but close enough to his hometown. It's IQ, folks.
Absolutely. Everybody was trying to rattle me up. Is that the word? Rattle me up? Rile me up? Rile me up. I was trying to stay calm, though. I'm like, it's just another game. I was trying to, relax, but yeah, definitely for sure.
How much family and friends did you have?
I think I got like maybe 35, 40. I seen a lot of people out there that I didn't know was coming. So I'm going to try to go see them real quick after this.
Is that why you went back in the stands after the game?
Yeah. Seen some people from high school, middle school. So, yeah.
So you bring back the swim celebration?
Yeah. We talked about it, me and the trainers talked about it a little bit before the game. Said they ain't seen it in a while, so. And I hit the 4-point play, so I tried to have some fun.
I'm sorry. Obi, 35 points tonight. Just kind of what you've been waiting to see this, I guess.
He got hot, and it was efficient, which is even more impressive. He didn't take that many shots, to be honest. He was really accurate. Obi's been great. He's been absolutely great. He's been working hard, like I say all the time. So, really proud of him. That's my guy. So, really proud of him.
What's the chemistry like? We were talking to Obi earlier, and he said the fact that you guys are getting. He basically just said, if I'm not with my family, I'm with Quick. And the fact that you guys have that relationship off the court, how do you see it affects what you have on the court?
It's great. Christmas, I went to his house, had Christmas with his family. Super Bowl, watched it with his family. So, you know, I'm pretty, like, same thing for me. If I'm not with my people, I'm pretty much with him. So, and then on the court, we can hold each other accountable. I can say, come on, bro, let's get going. Or he can tell me the same thing. And there's no, like, you know, there's no attitudes or things like that. So it's great. It's great to have a brother like that on the floor.
Is there almost a higher level of understanding, though? Describe what that, because he said you guys can kind of look at each other without even having to verbalize and understand what the other one's looking at.
Yeah, like if we see something in the game, I know when I get the ball, I'm already looking because I know he's sprinting. And if I miss him, he'll look at me on the bench like, and then I'll be like, I got you. And so things like that is kind of what we see.
Quick, how would you, I don't know if we're going to talk to you again with only one game left in the season. How would you evaluate the season that you've had?
As a team or?
You individually.
Me individually, I feel like I've done pretty well. Could always do better. Never perfect. Always striving to do better. So, got one game left. Want to focus on that one. But definitely in the summer, want to continue to strive to get better in every way I can, get stronger and things like that. But you know, like I said, big one on Sunday, so we got to lock in and get that one.
How do you look at this phenomenon that Obi gets his name chanted and all these different players? I mean, he didn't play, you know, he was playing sparingly his first 2 seasons up until recently, but they're still chanting his name. What do you guys make it just the way the crowd just reacts to him?
We love it. We want him to keep going. When somebody else is doing good, we feel like we all doing good. When somebody else is Obi. When he's doing good, we feel like everybody's doing good. So that's what it's all about.
How would you evaluate the season?
Me?
Yes. You would
I thought you just asked me.
evaluate the season or myself. Evaluate yourself. How would you evaluate the team?
The team? Obviously, we had hopes of making the playoffs. I feel like, you know, we could have did a lot better, but I'm still proud of the guys. You know, we still come in each and every day. Everybody respects each other and tries to get better each and every day, and that's really all you can ask, to come to work and have guys around you that you enjoy coming to work with and that are trying to, you know, get better as individuals and get better as a group. So I feel like, you know, it was a season that we, like I said, we want to make the playoffs, but, you know, we'll come back better next year.
Is it a head scratcher though? I mean, obviously you were part of the 41-31 season, and then to be under 500, you know, you'll be under 500 after Sunday regardless. Do you scratch your head like all this talent? How did we not finish higher?
I think it's problem solving. I don't know if I'm scratching my head though, but I do think, you know, you go back and watch games and just try to learn from it individually and then as a team. So head scratcher, I wouldn't say that, but problem solving, yeah, definitely.
Right. Is getting stronger, is that your number one offseason focus?
Yeah, it'll be one of them. Just trying to lock in pretty much on everything, and I'll go back and look at what I didn't do as well this year and then go from there. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Immanuel Quickley. And let me tell you, I just want to tell you some things that I've seen from Immanuel Quickley tonight. Getting a chance to really see him up close. He's doing a really good job of being patient in small spaces. And I think for point guards, you see, Chris Paul does this really, really well. He's already small, Chris Paul, but he makes himself even smaller. He gets in tight spaces. He's able to handle the ball tight to his body and then make a decision. Do I shoot it? Do I kick it? Do I find someone? Do I keep my dribble? Tonight, Immanuel Quickley did a really, really good job of getting in small spaces, in my opinion, handling the ball, keeping it tight, and then making a decision within that small space. And if he doesn't have the right decision, getting back out of that small space and making another decision. I think he's done a really good job doing that. Well, he did a really good job doing that tonight. This is an area where I really see him growing. He's really growing in that area. And if you've been watching the games, you've seen it over time. Him getting into those spaces and making the right decision. Now, in the previous game against the Nets, he seemed a little bit, he was picking up the ball a lot. right? And a few people pointed that out. He was picking up the ball, and you don't want to do that. And I feel like the coaching staff probably pointed it out to him. And you see, tonight, he kept his dribble until he made a decision as to what to do with the basketball. And maybe he was picking the ball up because he felt like, if I don't want to over dribble and those type of things. You know what? He'll get it. He's just got to go through it. We're all going to get frustrated when he over dribbles. But eventually he's going to learn and understand the perfect amount of dribbles to take in a situation. How soon to get the ball out of his hands. How soon to make a decision. And you're seeing these things come to fruition now. You're seeing it right now. I also like the way he was directing traffic tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I was close enough to be able to see his eyes. Right? And he would look in directions and kind of tell people, especially Obi, him and Obi have good ESP, where to go with his eyes, what he wants to do with his eyes. Right? He does a good job also when he's in those tight spaces of looking off defenders. And I think that's impressive. You see a lot of players in the NBA, they call themselves looking off the defender or doing a no-look pass, and they really don't do a no-look pass. You know what I'm saying? They see somebody and they look that guy down, and then just as they make the pass, they turn their head. That's not really a no-look pass. It's a fake no-look pass. But what I've seen Immanuel Quickley do is not really, turn his head when he's making the pass, but he's dribbling, and you can see him take a glance at someone and then take a glance at another option, but know that he's going to go back to that person. Right? Or he uses his peripheral vision, to, look one way, but know he might have this option over here or whatever option. I think he does a good job looking people off, and it's something that you can't see on television. Right? You can't see that on TV. You're just not close enough to be able to see it. But I was able to watch him and watch his eyes and how he was able to look people off and then make a pass to a certain player. You know what I mean? So I think he did a really good job with that. I think it's something that's grown and something he's added to his basketball game. He probably already had it. But to do it on this level is something different than to do it, in the summer league or in college or whatever it is. A lot of growth from Immanuel Quickley. A lot of growth. And, when the Knicks are looking this summer for a point guard, I think he's going to have something to say about it. When they get into training camp, he's going to have something to say about it. Big stuff, good stuff from Immanuel Quickley. The second time in 3 games that Immanuel Quickley has had double-digit assists. So big shout-out to Immanuel Quickley for that, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to remind you, excuse me for hitting the mic, I want to remind you that there is a link pinned to the top of your YouTube chat, and that link will get you on the list to buy tickets to the NBK draft party in Atlantic City, June 23rd. All right, June 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. So click on that link. Fill out your form. I want to get your information so I can contact you when those tickets are ready. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. Again, it's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. It's also in the description of this video. All right, but back to the New York Knicks. Because Immanuel Quickley, I felt he was impressive tonight. Not just the 23-10, but some of those little things that I just talked to you about. Thought he was impressive there. And the ESP between him and Obi Toppin, that chemistry, man, it's really, really nice to see. I mean, really nice to see that chemistry. And hopefully it's going to continue to grow, continue to build. And they'll both be here for a little while. Obviously, we know that the New York Knicks are going to be looking to make moves. Leon Rose, World Wide West, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to be looking to make moves. And both of those guys' names are going to come up in conversation, especially with the way that they played during the end of this season There's going to be teams inquiring about both of these young men. It's going to be interesting to see the way that the New York Knicks move in that situation, ladies and gentlemen. In that situation. Let's hear from Tom Thibodeau. I know some of you guys just, got upset, started to frown when I said let's hear from Tom Thibodeau and all of that stuff. But let's hear from Tom Thibodeau. He's the captain of the ship. We got to hear what he's got to say. All right, so let's listen to Tom Thibodeau, and then we'll talk about Tom and some of the things that he's talking about in his presser. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, our captain, the New York Knicks captain of the ship, Tom Thibodeau.
So, and I thought we came out of that, and we got our energy going, and once we got a little bit of rhythm, I love the way we passed the ball. I thought we got into a great rhythm, and everyone's making the extra pass. Then when the bench came in, they got going with some defense, but it was a lot of guys stepping up and playing really well.
It's been interesting to watch, when Toppin's been playing well, Quickley's also playing well. I mean, the two of them are playing very well off of each other. What are you noticing about their chemistry?
Well, they have great chemistry because they spend a lot of time together, to be honest with you. It started last year. They come in, they work out together, they're in the early group, they practice with the same group, they support each other. They bring the best out of each other, and they do have great chemistry. They've spent a lot of time working together.
When you take a look at Toppin, we've talked a lot about how if he can be decent from three, that allows him to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim. But I mean, if he's going to shoot 6 for 9, I'm sure
we'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take that shot. But what are you seeing with that development?
Well, he's put a lot of time into it, and we saw it. Like, the encouraging thing first was the free throw. Like, we saw the vast improvement with that. And then we realized he's got great touch, but the thing that he does better than anything, he runs the floor, and so. By running the floor, he gets some easy baskets, he gets everyone playing fast, and then if he doesn't get it, he doesn't stop moving. He respaces, and then he'll keep the ball moving. And so I think just playing like that, his confidence is, I think it comes from the work that he's put in. He put a lot of work into this. So, he's playing really, really well.
Do you have an update on RJ?
I don't, other than a sprained knee, and then it'll be evaluated by our doctors when we get back.
Does that mean an MRI?
I don't want to speak for them because I don't know.
Is he in the building, or did he go already out? Is he still here, or did he...
I think he's in with the trainers, but I'm not certain.
Are you worried?
I worry about everything, Mark. You know that.
But I mean, obviously he won't play Sunday.
No, yeah.
But I mean, just worried that.
Well, I don't like to see any of our players get injured, but it's part of the game, So, if a guy's got soreness right now, obviously he's going to be out. So.
That's good.
I was bigger picture thing related to the game. You guys have talked before about those the young guys practices you have before practices.
Yeah.
What do you get out? What do they get out of those sorts of practices?
Well, it's honestly, it's a good opportunity for all of us to work together. So you get a chance to see what each player is really good at, right? They get comfortable with each other, and over the course of a long season, everyone's going to get the opportunity to play. And so the challenge is to make sure everyone's ready when they get that opportunity. And so the young guys, particularly, we saw, stretches last year from Quick and Obi, so we knew where they were. But our young guys, right from the fall all the way through training camp, the way they practice, and that's really the first step, to practice well, right? So you gain the trust of your teammates. But we saw how competitive they were and what they did. But I think they all benefit from, you can see how they have great chemistry with each other. The ball hops around, they move without the ball, they know how to get to play off each other. And that's, I think, from a byproduct of spending a lot of time with each other. And they're all great workers. Our young guys are off the charts in terms of work.
With Obi, do you see, I mean, obviously when Julius plays, you know, he's playing 35 minutes a game at power forward. The way Obi's playing now, do you see a different ways you can get him more playing time even when Julius is?
Well, yeah, it's based on performance, and the team has to function well together. So, you know, it's something that we've taken a look at. We'll continue to take a look at it, but it's, you know, it has to happen. It has to happen in practice too, and then in the games, it has to translate into something. And your opponents and who they have on the floor, that factors into it as well. But I like having the component of being able to downsize. The thing is, we lose like our defense, and so it's going to be hard because once you do that, you're basically committing to outscoring somebody.
Just getting back to RJ, on the play that he got hurt, I mean, he made a nice feed. I mean, do you remember the play?
Yeah, it was a great play, and I told our guys, I love the way they passed the ball to each other today. Like, I thought the rim reads were terrific, attack the rim, collapse, spray, and oftentimes we got, you know, drive, pass, which led to great rhythm on the threes. And I thought Quick made a number of great reads in the pick and roll. Like, he got movement, he read the screen well, he read the coverage well, and he read the low man well. And that's, you know, and that's huge. You know, like, I thought his floor game was great. We know he's a shot maker, but he's doing a lot of things. And I think what Obi does is he gets you those easy buckets too when he runs. So your offense, you know, you once you get easy buckets for everyone, guys get confident and guys get into rhythm. And then I thought Taj gave us some really good minutes, and there was a stretch where we were trying to buy a little bit of time where we just dumped it into him, and he's going to get you a good shot. So he turned back the clock a little bit and got to the rim.
Coach, is Obi a throwback to anybody you've watched?
No, he's very unique, you know, and I always hate to compare players, but his athleticism, and you could throw in Jericho with that. It's, you know, it's amazing what they can do, and they're so fast. And it's hard, it puts a lot of pressure and stretches out the defense. And he's got great hands, and he got different ways to finish around the rim. You know, it's not just the dunks. Oftentimes he'll change, and he'll give you different finishes. But his teammates now are always looking for him, and he's doing a really good job of sealing. So he gets a guy pinned, and it's 2 points or a foul. You know.
Are you surprised by the reaction from the crowd by his performance?
You know, he's a great guy. He's got he's a very positive, upbeat, high energy guy, and everyone loves Obi. And, you know, that's, you know, we always kid that, like, for sure we were all worried when he got sick. Obi, and no one gives out more dabs than Obi. Every day, the thing that you love about him is he walks in the gym and he's got energy. He walks onto the bus, he's got energy, and your team can feed off that. You know, so he's just he reminds me in some ways of, if you ask, like, you know, not in the way they play, but in the way they bounce, in their attitude is Taj. Like, that was a young Taj. Taj, in the middle of winter, he'd come in the gym and and that's what you feel from Obi when he walks in the building. You're like, okay, Obi's here. You know, you feel it.
All right. Thanks, Tibbs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tom Thibodeau. And you heard him compare Obi to Taj Gibson, you know, as a young man, not in the style of play, but just the attitude and the energy and et cetera, et cetera. You know, a lot of love given to Obi tonight. Well-deserved love given to Obi tonight. But RJ goes down with a sprained knee. You know, hopefully RJ Barrett's going to be okay. I think he's going to be okay. You know, I doubt that he's going to play the next game, you know, against Toronto. If I was the New York Knicks, there's no way he'd be on the floor. You know what I mean? You know, let the guy rest. Let him, you know, whatever he needs to do to get himself back in, you know, together, let him do it. You know what I mean? No reason for him to be out there. Excuse me. No reason for him to be out there on the floor versus the Toronto Raptors. I know he's going to want to play. We all know he's going to want to play, but there's no reason for it. You know, let him rest. get ready for next season. Big Bubba, man, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, sir? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, no, everything's going good, man. You know, we got the dub. You know, some people aren't happy about that, but I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad I paid for your meal today. I'm glad.
I no comment, but go ahead. No comment.
Hey, sir, can I say something? I was looking at my phone for like I seen the halftime. I said, "Oh God, here it comes." but I'm gonna keep that between me and you.
I got a bill for you. Don't worry about it. I got a bill.
Nah, man, but you know, hey, listen, man. What can you say about tonight, man? Even if you wanted to lose tonight, man, you got to be happy about what you seen on Obi. You seen Immanuel Quickley, and you know, just hearing what Ty said. So you know, something stuck out to me when you played the Immanuel Quickley thing, his interview.
Yep.
I don't know if this stuck out with you too, but when he said, you know, he could talk to Obi, and Obi's not going to catch an attitude. You know, that stuck out with me a little bit. You know, and again, you know, I don't, because people are going to assume he's talking about Randall. You know, you never know. He could be.
I don't think he was talking about Julius Randle at all. I think he was just talking about, you know, me and him have that kind of relationship where we can yell at each other and be okay. Basically, I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah. No, yeah. I just hope it was that. You know, I don't fully even think he was talking about Julius Randle, but I think he was talking about maybe in general. That stuck out to me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, again, what more can you want for these young guys that are playing? And again, I think on Sunday it's going to be just Immanuel Quickley and Obi. And I would love for Obi to have another strong game, man. If Obi could come out with one more strong game like that, man, he puts a lot of pressure on the front office.
Yeah, a whole lot of pressure on the front office to really make a decision about that power forward spot. Because now, if you feel confident that Obi can, I'm not saying give you 35 points on a nightly basis, but give you 16, 17 points, 7, 8 rebounds a night, play competent defense. Now, you know, you can open up a world of ways because of Julius Randle's contract. You can open up a world of ways that you can restructure this team.
Yeah, Sim, right? I agree with you. That's why I say I think it's really important for Obi to have a really good game because you're going against harder competition. And no disrespect to the Wizards, but you know they really didn't play anybody today. But you're going to be going against Spicy P. You're going to be going against those guys. You're going to go against guys the couple of guys still on that team that won the championship. And they're are they in the play-in or playoffs?
Who? The Raptors?
The Raptors.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So the top 16. Okay, so yeah. So to me, this is going to be a big game for Obi. You know, because you're facing a playoff team and you're facing a guy like Spicy P, who's been, you know, on great defensive teams, and he has played great defense himself. So I think that's going to be a big game for Obi, man. But again, if he has a great game, if he has a good game against the Raptors, good to great game, I think, man, you're making the front office really have to think. Because if they feel confident, like I'm with you too, Sam. If Obi can give me 16, 8 on good efficiency and play competent defense, then whew.
Well, the thing is this. Obviously, it's a short sample size, right? You know, they have to go into the summer feeling like he can do this all the time without having seen it being done all the time, right? You know, so that's going to factor into their decision, which could lead them to say, you know what? We're going to make sure he's getting 25 minutes a night. If he's doing this still, we got some moves that we can make. Now, they may think that he can do it every single night, you know, regardless, without seeing a bigger sample size, you know, and go ahead and make that move. We'll see, but Obi's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. This is what, you know, continuously talk about with these young players coming into the league. And I know Obi's 25, but When you get your chance, you capitalize.
But he's 25 now?
Yeah, I think so. I think. But when you get your chance, you capitalize. He might be 24, but, close enough. When you get your chance, you capitalize. Earlier in the season, when Randall went out, he didn't capitalize as much as I think he maybe expected himself to, or fans expected himself to. He is now. That's all that really matters. He's capitalizing right now. You know what I mean? So it's going to, it's a good problem to have.
No, it is.
A very good problem to have. You know what I mean? When you're talking about a team that has a glut at certain positions because you have talented players, that's a good problem to have. Now, how do you clean up the roster to make sure you have the best talent stays on your team? That's up to the front office.
Yeah. Also, too, Sam, I think it's also about having faith, right? Because clearly right now, Julius Randle is a better basketball player than Obi Toppin. I think the question for the Knicks is who's more talented? Who's going to be more talented?
Well, but it's not. I don't think it's just that, right? I don't think it's just that, because Obi Toppin may not ever be a guy that can go create his own shot. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. So if you're going to move Julius Randle, you just know that you got to bring in another person that can create a shot, I think, because the Knicks, in my opinion, they scored 114 points against the Washington Wizards, who, defensively are right? Against the Toronto Raptors, it's going to look different. They're a much more physical basketball team. They get their hands on a lot of basketballs, a lot of deflections, those type of things. It's going to look very different. All right? It's going to look very different. So it's not just about, can he score like Julius Randle can score? His style of play, you're going to change your style of play, because now it's going to be run through somebody else and, with another mind running it out there on the floor, which is probably going to happen whether or not Julius Randle is here. But obviously, Obi's going to give you a different style of play. So you're going to change your style of play, and you're going to have some other shot creators out there on the floor. You know what I mean? Which can work just as well. So I don't think you have, in my opinion, and you all know I'm a Julius Randle supporter, right? But in my opinion, I don't think you have to think in terms of, can he be Julius Randle? Can he play like Julius Randle? Can he score like Julius Randle? Let me say that, not play like him, but can he score? Can he create his own shot, right? Can he suck in the defense? I don't think we have to think in terms like that for Obi Toppin, because you find somebody else to do that and let Obi do what he does. You get somebody else that can do it. Now you got if you're going to trade Julius Randle and let Obi Toppin be the power forward, now you have $26 million next year that you can move and figure out a way to bring in some other talent, some people that can be that shot creator for you. You know what I'm saying? And let Obi play his style of basketball. And make sure you have people out there that's going to allow Obi to play his style of basketball, meaning guards that are going to find him. That's some things that they've got to think about. Now, you talk about Obi Toppin having a test on Sunday. Immanuel Quickley has a test on Sunday because he's going to start. He's probably going to be the starting point guard, and Alec Burks is going to move over to the 2 spot. He's going to go up against Fred VanVleet. He's going to go up against a tough defense. Right? Wake up. This is a test for Immanuel Quickley. A big test for Immanuel Quickley. A good test to end the season. Right? And a good test to see, can he give this type of production against a tough defense like the Toronto Raptors? Okay.
So, Sim, I agree with you, right? It's not just about Obi, it's about Immanuel Quickley, because you're going against Fred VanVleet, and again, you got Nick Nurse, and again, these guys have won a championship. It was only 2 years ago, 3 years ago, son. This team won a championship. You know what I'm saying? You got Spicy P in there. You got Fred Fleet, you got OG Anunoby. You have all these guys that were on that team, and like you said, this is going to be a match because, listen, if the Knicks want to make the playoffs, guess who you got to beat? You got to beat some of these teams that's going to be in the playoffs this year.
Right. And look, the Raptors, they're 48-33. The Philadelphia 76ers are 49-31. Philadelphia's in the 4th spot. The Raptors are in the 5th spot. Okay? The Raptors, this is their last game. They win this game, they're 49-33. Then they got to hope that Philadelphia loses. All right, now, I don't know. I'll check and see. Maybe Philadelphia will play tomorrow. And if obviously if they win tomorrow, then, it's going to change everything. All right, so tomorrow, the slate of games for tomorrow does include Philadelphia. They play the Indiana Pacers. So if Philadelphia wins against the Pacers, they'll be 50-31. That means the Toronto Raptors can't catch them, and they'll be locked into that 5th spot. Okay? If they lose, there's still a chance that the Raptors can catch them. I'm assuming there's a chance that the Raptors can catch them, depending on their tiebreaker situation. Now, if Philadelphia wins, then maybe they don't play all of their guys against the Knicks on Sunday. Right? And the game looks very different. Still, I'm assuming that those guys are going to play, that they finish it out. And so I think it's going to be a good test, very good test for Immanuel Quickley to see how he handles that point guard spot, assuming that he runs the point guard spot against a superior defense. You know what I mean? So, that's going to be a good game, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be a good game to watch. Taking a look at the numbers behind the game tonight. You probably already know them, but what the hey? Say it anyway. The biggest lead from the New York Knicks was 26, and the biggest lead from the Washington Wizards early in the game was 13. All right, 42 rebounds for the Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They out-rebounded the Wizards 42-37. 27 assists from the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau pointed it out. Talked about he liked the way the ball was being sprayed out. Right, the extra pass was being made around the perimeter. 27 assists tonight for the Knicks, 21 for the Wizards, 13 steals for the Knicks, 5 steals for the Wizards, 3 blocks for the Knicks, 5 for the Wizards. The Knicks with only 10 turnovers tonight took care of the basketball. Remember, Immanuel Quickley, 10 assists, only 2 turnovers. The Washington Wizards had 22 turnovers. The Knicks shot 46.6% from the field. They shot 41% from the three-point line. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, they shot 80% from the free throw line. And earlier today, when I did the game preview, I said, this is something that I want to see the Knicks work on these last 2 games, knocking down their free throws. They did it tonight. They made 80% of their free throws. The Washington Wizards, they shot 50% from the field, 32% from 3, and 76.5% from the free throw line. The battle in the paint was tied. 38 for the Knicks, 38 for the Wizards. 15 second chance points for the New York Knicks, 0 for the Washington Wizards. For the New York Knicks, 14 fast break points. For the Wizards, 10. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Obi Toppin with his career high led the New York Knicks in scoring with 35. Rui Hachimura led the Washington Wizards with 21. Jericho Sims with 9 rebounds. Thomas Bryant, 10 rebounds for the Wizards. And they gave us all Thomas Bryant bobbleheads. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Thomas Bryant bobblehead. If there's a Thomas Bryant fan out there, let me know. I will send you the bobblehead postage free. I will pay for the postage to send it to you. I don't want the Thomas Bryant bobblehead. I just took it because they gave it to me.
Hey, Sim. It's probably the only friends he got by his mama, his cousin.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's just here. Thomas Bryant bobblehead. Immanuel Quickley, 10 assists for the Knicks. Led the Knicks in assists. Thomas Satoransky led the Wizards with 8 assists. Jericho Sims with 2 blocks. He continues to show that he can help protect the rim. Continues to prove it. Thomas Bryant, 3 blocks for the Washington Wizards. Well, Isaiah, big win for the Knicks, man. Big win for the Knicks. Are you worried about RJ Barrett, though?
No, I think that was really pretty much precautionary with RJ Barrett. I think, they just want to make sure he's good for the next season. He's going to heal up. He's probably, like I said before, I think most of these guys are probably going to take a month off, then get right back to work. Probably back in, they're probably going to get ready to go back to work back in June, But he might, RJ's fine. I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's going to be fine. Sprained knee. Hopefully, it's just a small sprain. Doesn't sound like they were going to, go get an MRI and all that kind of stuff. So probably just a small sprain. Stay off of it. Don't play on Sunday. And, be ready to take a couple weeks off and then get back to training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think, Asen, real quick, I think most of the Knicks will take a month off. Just take a month off. Get yourself some, nice little R&R. And like I said, get back to work in June, man. Get back to work.
In June? I don't know if they're getting back to work in June, but,
Well, okay, technically, that's more than a month. So, probably like midway through May.
Yeah, something like that. And if you want the Thomas Bryant bobblehead, email me. I put my email in the chat. Email me. The first person that emails me, I'm sending it to him. All right? I'm sending it to him.
You're going to pay for you to get it.
Yeah, if you want that bobblehead.
Hey, Sim, it's probably going to be Thomas Bryant himself.
Bro, I'm going to be, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be heated. I'll be pissed off if I send that bobblehead to somebody and 15 years from now, something happens with Thomas Bryant and that bobblehead becomes worth something. I'm going to be hot.
Hey, just keep it, man.
I'm going to be hot. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. All right. It's 1 a.m. You guys jumped on with me. Close to 300 people here with me tonight. Jumped on. I appreciate you. Thank you. I really respect you for that, man. Respect you for that. Again, there's a link in the chat to sign your name to the list for the NBK draft party. All right.
It's going to be lit.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight. All right. It's going to be tight. Julian Tran said, watch the Knicks trade for Thomas Bryant. Ha! That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he ended up being a New York Knick and I gave away the Thomas Bryant bobblehead. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you sign your name on that list. All right, sign your name on that list so we can see you at the draft party. And I do have one more announcement to make. First things first. Just in the chat, drop where you're from in the chat. I just want to see it. Drop in the chat where you're from. Wake up, Isaiah. Drop in the chat where you're from for me. And I'm going to do this. I don't know how many of you are on Facebook, but, before the pandemic, I started an ambassadorship program where people in different places like Philly, Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, etc., they can kind of be like ambassadors of NBK, and we can, schedule live podcasts and get-togethers in your area. Okay, we have, a few specific areas. So what I'm going to be doing, on Facebook, I'll be creating Facebook groups for Knicks fans in DC, Knicks fans in Philly, Knicks fans in Charlotte, Knicks fans in Atlanta, Knicks fans in Miami. All right, we're going to start with those 5 right there. All right, so Knicks fans can have a place where you're local, connect, and we can start to plan some activities, some get-togethers, some watch-alongs and stuff in those different locales. That's the plan. It said, it's in the beginning phases, all right, kind of growing on that ambassadorship. We didn't really get it off the ground because the pandemic hit and it shut down everything, all right? But that's what we're doing, so be on the lookout for that. As soon as I get those groups up, I'll be putting them in the descriptions of the videos so we can have people in those different locations join so we can connect in that manner. All right? Because, we got Knicks fans everywhere. everywhere. Look, Australia, China, Miami, Delaware. Yeah.
Connecticut.
Everywhere. Connecticut. I don't know if Connecticut counts, but Connecticut, I'll give it to you. I'm just joking. Look, Hamburg, Germany. Yeah. Beats by Franks. You said say it again? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Just so that everybody understands. I'll be creating Facebook groups with different locations, right? So you'll have Knicks fans in DC by NBK, Knicks fans in ATL by NBK, Knicks fans in Philadelphia by NBK, right? So that we can connect in those specific localities and begin to have live podcasts, Knicks fans get-togethers and things like that in those localities, right? Because we started to have an ambassadorship of Knicks fans in different places, but the pandemic kind of shut that down. So this is a way that we are bringing it back. All right. Greg said, where am I? I am now currently in DC. That's where I am now. Okay. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look forward to that. I appreciate your time. All right. Get some rest. I'll probably see you sometime tomorrow during the shoot around. I know Tony Crow's going to be looking to do something. So I'll probably see you then, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out, man. Be easy. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.